Back, Aces, to another X-Wing Battle Report. I'm Brian.
I'm Ethan.
And today we have Matt flying one of my favorite lists. He's got Echo with Recon Specialist, Fire Control Systems, Advanced Cloak, and Veteran Instincts. Vader with Juke, Accuracy Corrector, the Title, and Engine Upgrade. And Zeta Leader with Juke and Comms Relay.
And I'm flying, trying a new TLT list. I've got 2 Syndicate Thugs with Twin Laser Turret, Unhinged, and the Y-Wing Title, and then 2 with just the Twin Laser Turret and Unhinged, trying to work out the kind of different ways you can play a full TLT squad.
Yeah, no, it's a really interesting take on it. I like it with the 2 fighter Y-Wings. You get a little bit more punch, but I think it might be a little bit better instead of using the Unhinged. If you had something like the Astromech, you get a little bit more dice modification in there, but I think it works well with the Unhinged also.
I just like I like how aggressive the Y-Wing is with the Unhinged Astromech, especially in the fighter format. Certainly Astromech is really useful because you spend that focus token, you get the advantage. Both attacks get their dice modification, but I really like being able to really push forward and move as fast as I can with all my ships. And here I think we see Matt doing one of his trademark interesting maneuvers, barrel rolling with Echo here to try and get him out of range of all my ships. But it kind of takes away from his defense from those ships that can actually fight and see him, which I think is...
Yeah, I think if you're going to be at range 3, even against the TLTs, I think having the 2 focus would be a little bit better move there, but it looks like he still might be in range of the lead 2.
Well, those fighters, they put out impressive amounts of damage. Like, you wouldn't think the addition of 2 dice would really do that much, but it really does actually increase their damage output by a significant amount.
Well, the best way to get damage out there is to roll the dice.
A somewhat unfortunate roll for me taking damage already, but it's kind of what you expect with a fleet like this, so many dice.
Well, those Y-Wings have definitely got enough hull to eat some of it.
They really do. They're so tough. I really like... That's why I like the fighter platform so much, is because I feel like they're just like... so beefy.
Mm-hmm. I really like Matt's list, making use of that new Juke card.
Juke is such a great card, dice modification like that, while taking the defensive benefit. I really love it.
Yeah, and I like Zeta Leader, being able to hang on to that, using it if he ever needs to, and just passively taking the action whenever he needs to regenerate it.
And I think here we're seeing I get to sort of reap the rewards of Matt's interesting maneuver, being able to roll just all those dice just over and over. I'm just slowly eating through Echo's defenses, and there he goes.
Yeah,
it's just a bad start to this kind of game when you've got ships like the TLT Y-Wings. They're just so much hull. And here I think we had a slight camera jump. I just 4K'd with my fighters and then moved 3 forward with my turrets.
Yeah, it's nice with that Unhinged, not really worrying at all about having to do a 4K with those fighters. Still being able to do a hard 3-turn to try to get back into position after a 4K.
I think, that's what one of the things I really love about that Unhinged is it just allows you, it opens up the entire dial, and I feel like you can be really aggressive with those. They become really efficient jousters.
Yeah.
On the order of B-Wings, but a very different flavor from B-Wings.
Yeah. And you can still outslow most Imperialists, too, with it, which is real nice.
Yeah. And I think right here we're just seeing that I think your list really... Against something like these 4 TLTs, it kind of falls apart when you really lose Echo that early, because you just don't have the damage output to keep, like, eating through those Y-wings.
That is the hardest part about playing a high arc dodger list, is that initial engagement. You really need to try to worm your way around to the side, try to get everything outflanked while staying out of range, come in at weird angles, just to try to mitigate as much of the opening salvo as possible.
Yeah, I think, like, because I love this build of Vader. Like, I think that's one of the greatest, like, uses of Juke and Accuracy Corrector together. But, like, against these Y-Wings, you know, the 2 hits is just not enough to take one down in a reasonable amount of time.
Might be a little bit better with the advanced targeting computer, working those crits through, but...
Here, I think we have a question about which point is closest, because then determines whether or not Vader gets that critical asteroid obstruction.
Oh yeah, certainly huge for Vader.
But I think he's just in normal. So...
One of those weird situations where the closest point is actually the middle of the ship token there.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the things I like about these fighter Y-wings is you know, even with the regular TLTs, sometimes people forget that you can shoot that range 1 if you're in arc. So it's okay to be a little bit more, like, you know, swift moving, doing a little bit more interesting maneuvers with your Y-wings to try and get arc the fighters, because even if they get within range 1, hey, that's still a three dice shot.
Yeah. Is that something you think you'll try with the fighter Y-wings with the dorsal, and then
I'm
two
really
TLTs, or?
I'm really hoping that dorsal is a great way to use the fighter Y-wing, because I feel like just as a regular turret, it might not be that great. You know, 2 dice, just plain old 2, unless you're in range 1. But I hope it really improves the fighter Y-wing, because it is a lot cheaper than TLT, and it doesn't have that bubbling issue. So I really hope it works out. I can't wait to try it out later.
Yeah.
And then here we see a very unfortunate bump for Vader. This is not what he wanted to see. He's already kind of down on health, so he really needed to be able to take those actions.
Oh yeah. Definitely going to be taking TLTs.
I mean, it's one of those kind of difficult decisions as a pilot, but I mean, I think right here might be the moment when you kind of want to, like, disengage with your fighters.
Yeah. It's hard to do when you're facing 4 Y-wings. You really want to stick in there and try to get as much damage in as possible. And especially with the Unhinged, you almost expect them to be moving a little bit faster.
And here, he gets a great... Matt gets a great shot in and just completely blows up a mostly healthy Y-wing. So that was a good bit for him, but...
That's why I like Zeta Leader so much. You really don't expect a TIE fighter to be throwing 4 dice at range 1.
I think it's just fantastic, especially with the comms relay. So after you take that initial evade action, you're probably not going to be using that evade unless you really have to. But hey, it's there if you do need it. And on top of that, suddenly he becomes an interceptor with this great weird dial. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
There goes Vader.
Yep.
And I think that's where we called it.
Yeah, that looks like the end. And thanks again for watching, guys. Go ahead and hit that like button. We'll get some more X-Wing videos out here for you. And be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.